Hello all you YouTube and internet information superhighway travelers. Here is my Goped-like clone from China. Here's something I'd like to talk to you guys today about. Is maintenance on this sucker. Now listen, you got to beware of vibrations. This little engine here, it vibrates like crazy. Crazy vibrations. All the screws will vibrate out. Loctite. I suggest some Loctite. I don't have any Loctite. But I was losing all kind of power. I took the cover off. There's a cover on this engine. 4 screws, Allen head screws. 4 of them. You see those 4 holes? Well, they're down in there. They were coming up. They were coming out. I was losing all kind of power. You see the grease and oil all around here because it was coming out around the gap that was being made. What you want to do with this sucker is you want to make sure these screws, any screws in this sucker can vibrate out. So you want to check this thing a lot. Make sure no screws are vibrating out. I kept having all kind of power issues. Screws over here on the Magneto, these two, I had 2 engines. One engine I was riding down the street and it started going and wouldn't run, and I thought the piston was all messed up, but really. So I just took this engine off and put another engine on because I didn't feel like messing with it. Or after I was inspecting it, one of these screws had came out and this thing fell down and was scratching against the flywheel and wasn't very good. So my other engine's still perfect. It's just I got to get screw to put in there. This thing, the neck, and this is just this is a flaw with this thing. You see this cover over the, looks like a little pipe over top of that? This one down here broke in half. It like has all the weight of this sucker on it. So I put a new screw in there. It bent. I put another screw in there. It bent. I bent it back straight, bent this side down and tied it down because it didn't, because it's, you can tell there's no threads on it. And then I took this block of wood and stuck it up under there. It seems to be holding it straight. You just want to make sure there's bolts in here that hold that chunker on, which is the transmission. See that bolt right there at the top? Those things will vibrate out. You got to make sure your stuff don't vibrate out. You got to check it, or you're going to be riding down the street and you're going to be stuck somewhere. Because I use this thing to go about 2 miles to get to the grocery store and stuff. See how I got this on here? That's to hold this end up, because see that screw? There's another one back there. It vibrated out when I was riding down the street. So yeah, you gotta beware. And I guess if I leave it outside underneath the tarp and it was real cold and I just took 2 starts and look, that plastic broke. I'm guessing because it was so cold. You can get a metal cover that just goes over top of that, which I'm gonna get for like $8 or $9. And that probably would have prevented that from breaking, but I don't have the metal cover. I have a new one of these ordered and it's on its way, so hopefully it gets here soon. This screw here, you can adjust to get power. It's the air to gas mixture ratio. Now here's a screw up here. That middle screw, that also is like a mixture screw, but it really only has to be in one place, and usually there's a rubber nipple that goes down in there and holds it in place. Without that rubber nipple, that thing vibrates and moves. So that's not cool. Stupid thing had to break, huh? Anyways, there's my Goped clone. I would suggest getting a Goped. Now this thing goes 33 miles an hour and up every hill. Like you see this hill right here, it goes up that hill real easy. Anyways, here's my bicycle with my weed whacker engine on it. That's a homemade deal. It's homemade. Anyways, I got videos up on how to make that chumpy. Although it's snowing outside, and since it's a friction drive and I don't have a really good friction surface on there for wetness, you can make a good friction surface for wetness. I mean, the ones I've seen are made out of metal. But anyways, yeah, beware of vibrations on these chumpies. You don't want to be riding down the street. I've already had this come off. It was usually off the takeoff. That bolt was tight, but it pulled it frontwards, slammed on the brakes. But I was lucky because every time it happened, it was just taking off. So it wasn't really moving. But if you're going 30 miles an hour and that chumpy comes stuck, you're going to have a problem. See, there's a vibrated screw. All these screws, they all vibrate out. If you aren't careful, you're going to be losing screws. This one here, I forget what was wrong. I couldn't get it out. I had to drill a hole, so now a screw won't really fit in there perfectly. But all right. You guys have a nice night, nice day, nice evening, nice morning, whatever it is.